Council meeting on Tuesday, February 7th, 2023 at 6:30. Please silence your cell phones. And if you was wanting to speak at this time, please make sure you fill out the paperwork and give it to Ms. Joyner. To be able to speak during the citizens' request. Call to order.
That was us. Roll call.
Roll call.
Moultrie, Williams,
Here.
Richardson,
Here.
Henry,
Yes, ma'am.
Glass.
Here. Okay, if you'll stand, Ms. Richardson's going to give the invocation and then we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Lord God, we thank you for letting us assemble. God, we ask you, God, to let us do your business in order for the city of Chattahoochee. God, bless this city, our citizens. Bless each and every one on Facebook. And Lord, we thank you for giving us the knowledge and the wisdom to sit behind the dais and do your business. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Amendments and approval of agenda.
Madam Mayor, staff has no amendments to the agenda.
Okay, we need approval, motion to approve the agenda.
I make a motion that we approve the agenda for Tuesday, February 7th, 2023, 6:30 p.m.
Second.
Okay, it's properly been motioned and second. Please call for the vote.
Williams,
Yes.
Richardson,
Yes.
Henry,
Yes, ma'am.
Glass.
Yes. All right, we got awards, presentations, and appearances.
Okay, we had a request tonight from the League, Florida League of Cities, one of our council members. And it is, a certificate to be awarded to Council Lady Ann Williams for
What'd you
completion
say?
of the email class.
Thank you.
That was a
And
good
asked that
class.
it be presented to you in a meeting so it would be in the official record.
You want the one to say no to say?
Thank you very much. This was a very tedious class.
It was
here,
good.
But I enjoyed it. Learned a lot.
It's part of your permanent record now.
All right, we got Ms. Pam Medley from Chattahoochee Main Street.
Pam Medley, Chattahoochee Main Street, Madam Mayor, Council, and staff, city staff, and visitor chief. I'm here tonight to do our usual request for allowing our beer sales through the months of March, April, May, September, and October for those final Friday events.
Say the months again, March.
March, April, May, September, and October. If you need the exact dates, I can give you that. But just the last Friday of each one of those months.
Okay.
And Pam,
Do you have any questions?
you'll follow the same guidelines that you'll have in years past. Still have.
Be the same, nothing different with any of that.
Do we need to
That's
make a
for
motion?
5 months, right?
Yes, ma'am,
Okay.
5 months.
Well, I would make the motion that we allow the Chattahoochee Main Street to have beer sales during the final Friday celebrations for March, April, May, September, and October 2023.
Second.
It's been properly motioned and seconded.
All right, Williams,
Thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
Yes.
Henry,
Yes, ma'am.
Glass.
Yes.
Thank you all so much.
And I've had people ask me about doing that movie again like y'all did. They keep asking me. And there were some people that asked could they help, so I wanted to get up with you and tell you.
Please do that.
I will.
Let me know and we'll prepare for that in months that are not quite so warm.
Maybe add more.
Right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you all.
Okay, next we have Miss Lois Emberton.
All right, my name's Lois Emberton, and I live at 865 Pine Avenue. And I'm before the board because of drainage problems, lack of drainage, you know. And I'm having difficulties in my home on 2 different occasions, and one right now still in the process. Okay. What I have in here is basically pictures. We can't go through them, but I give them to the board if you guys wanna look at them. You know, keep this open, you know, for next month or however you wanna do it, to give you an idea of what I'm dealing with. Okay, so,
So is it because there's no drainage there, or is it because it's blocked, or?
well, let me start.
Yeah, well,
You're gonna confuse me here. Okay. Okay, January the 16th, 21, my house got flooded. Now, it was through the septic, the sewer line. Okay, and I'll tell you why I know that, is because when Wendell, was working with the city, I had him put me in a cutoff valve out by my water, because when we weren't here, there was a couple of instances like where my water lines in the yard would burst or something. So it's sort of a precautionary thing. So if there's any problem with water whatsoever, generally that's my first move, is to shut the water off, because the water that was coming not in my house, in my tub, in my toilet, was clear. I mean, it was just, you know, just pure water. Now, the little bit of debris that come through the toilet was small to none. There's only 2 of us in our home, so it's not like 6 kids, you know, like would have found a whole bunch anyway. So, that was on a weekend. I called the city, and I called the police station, and I guess they had a worker on call, and he came down there, and I guess what he was looking for was the closed valve on the sewer line, which he couldn't find, which wound up being under my house, because all my pipes and everything are up under the house, they're not in the ground. Okay, so that's the first problem I had. Of course, my insurance covered it and everything, but the nonchalant about it was rather irritating, because I was told to put in a clean out valve, which was like $400. I mean, and the city acted like that just wasn't a big a deal, you know, but $400 is a lot of money. But what I did do, the city worked my pipes all the way up to my porch. I'm trying to make this, are y'all following me here?
Yeah.
Okay, clean it, nothing come out, there was nothing in my sewer line, period. Called the plumber, 3 days later he came, put a hole in the line in front of the house, so he had access to go under the porch, and then that was where the city was able to get to that point, and there was nothing there. And he was able to go toward the street, and there was some debris in there, not a whole lot, but some debris. I made a picture of it, and I think when you see these pictures, you'll get a better idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, my second problem, on Pine Avenue, if you ever go down there and look, if you're coming from Morgan, and you look on the left, there's a huge ditch, and it's all the way down the left side. It starts past my house, though. It doesn't drain. It sits, it's dormant, it's nasty, it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, so when it rains, now I'm not saying this is all of it, but when it rains, my road floods a lot, and it continues for 3 or 4 days with the runoff, because it has nowhere to go. Okay, and the city, and I'm thankful for them doing this, don't get me wrong here, that they had put in a curb in right there on the corner of Morgan and Pine Avenue. And I think what they did, and I'll just say that, is they did not put it at a decline so it holds water. I mean, that holds water, and it holds water all the way up to the top of the curb for days. Okay, that's another issue. But now the city did finally clean out the drain, but it's filled up again and it's not going anywhere. So there's some drainage where there's a problem there. And one other thing, let me go back to real quick on my house getting flooded. I've talked to him several times, this is my idea, I may be wrong, I don't think so. But when you got Morgan, Satsuma and Pine run together with the manholes, okay? Water, that's where the water flows, you know, the water, the drain water and the sewage and all that stuff, right? Well, if there's enough of pressure for it to push it up into Pine Avenue, it has nowhere to go, because the manholes have been shut off. So if that water comes up Pine Avenue, which I live on the corner, the clear water coming into my home had to be water that had nowhere else to go, because the pressure was enormous. I mean, my tub filled up, it was like this, just that fast. And the toilet, about to the peak of running over, and then it would go down. And I was like, oh my gosh. And we couldn't find out, it was going in my other bathroom, and it was coming up in the shower, the toilet, and it flooded 2 bedrooms and 2 baths. You know, it's just a mess. But, let me, this is my note. Are we good here so far?
Very good, yeah.
Okay. My third issue is, and this happened in January of 21. After about 2 months after this incident, I'm guessing because I didn't really, I was sort of thrown off. I got pictures of it, but not when it actually started. But I got a crack in my front porch. It's been there for 60 years, okay? And it continued to crack. And it got unleveled a little bit. My way of thinking is, this is the same area on the front of my house where the water is coming in. And the foliage there, in that area between the front of my porch and the walkway, is thick and green. It's like it's just constantly getting some kind of a water flow, okay? Now this all happened after the house got flooded. Now, I know they wanna say that it's an underground stream all of a sudden, okay? I didn't realize the damage it was doing until it continued to pour under my house. I've been under my house and it's wet. The ground is wet, it's been wet. I've asked them to go in there and look at it, but it's wet. I was told they don't do under houses, but that's okay. So the water proceeds to pop out. I've got a carport. And when a plumber come down, there was like spots on my concrete. And I asked him about it. I said, I can't figure out where it's coming from because my car's not leaking. You know, well, it's water. So this water is building up under my carport. And now it's massive. And now it is actually bleeding through the concrete. And I don't think a small stream that may run when it rains a little bit is gonna do that kind of damage. And then it's also going out and into my backyard under, I got a rim over the carport, and you'll see pictures of that. I've tried to mark them well enough that you could see what I'm talking about. Now, I've sent a letter to Mr. Presnell, certified, and asked for a response ASAP. Well, I didn't hear from him. So I went down to his office. I guess they were in a meeting, and I guess the lady, not the front desk lady, but the lady that does the ordering.
Sheila.
Sheila, yeah. I didn't know her name then. But anyway, she came out and got the information. Well, I waited for him to call. He never called. So I finally went up to the city and asked one of the ladies there the name of the lady, because I know she works at the back. And she gives it to me in her first, and bless her heart, she says, is she gonna get in trouble for this? I said, no, she don't get in trouble. I just was gonna confirm that he got the message. Well, a day or so later, I hear from him. And Mr. President, I'm sorry, but it just seems like I have to move heaven and earth to get a response. Now, you were supposed to come and meet up with me, let me get my days straight, I think it was Tuesday. Monday or Tuesday. No, it wasn't Monday, I don't think it was Tuesday. I can't, it's a few days there, but anyway, he shows up unannounced with a guy from Dewberry Engineering, which I guess works with the city, and Scott.
Joe Scott.
Joe Scott. And that's another thing, they won't give you the employee's last names, it's top security, I guess. I'm not trying to make it good, but anyway, and then we go through the conversation. Well, Mr. President told me up front, he says, this is strictly a meeting about the drain water off the road, you know? And I'm like, well, no, I want, the only thing, if he's the engineer and he's gonna be doing this new work coming in, I want him to know what the problem is, because I truly think that it needs to be researched and tell me that there is not a hole somewhere in there, because I'm continuing to have these damages, and I'm really afraid that my house eventually, I called, what do you call it, okay, well, I've had 2 plumbers there, of which I have a lot of information in there. A foundation expert to come in, because I was starting to worry, not that my house was tilted, but I'm thinking, I don't want it to with this water going under it, okay? And then, who else did I have? Can't even remember now, I'm so upset, but anyway, I've made quite a bit of effort to try to, get some kind of, resolution here, because I don't think, what is the word that Earl was, I don't want to fall under maybe if, could be, okay, because we're talking about my home. If this all happened, I was actually in the process of trying to get it on the market, basically get it ready to put it on the market. But I mean, that's happens, everything happens, you know what I'm saying? And I guess that's the gist of it, unless you wanna ask me something, but I have plenty of photos in here, Mr. President, I'm not trying to be, I'm just trying to converse or to relate what has transpired, okay?
Okay.
And, I didn't even need these posts, and make sure they, let's see,
You're fine, we can't know nothing if you don't tell us.
yeah. I think that the city workers that, like the one that came on the weekend, which he was probably on call, but I think if he could have given me a little bit more what I'm looking for, or what we were looking for, because he said we're just looking for water on the ground, you know? I wound up calling my son, which does heating and air and plumbing, and with my camera, and he showed me, and my neighbor come over and nothing come out, released it, nothing come out, everything had already come out of the house. Okay, now, I might throw this out over here, since the city cleaned out that ditch, of course, it's filling back up. I don't know who, it's like somebody's deliberately just throwing gobs of trash in there. I mean, it's pathetic, it's bottles and cans, it's drinks, bottles and cans, in that one area, one particular area. I've already cleaned it once, and now it's like a huge amount again.
Seems like they're doing it all over the city.
Oh, are they? Okay, because I haven't seen, that's on, I mean, this is like,
It is.
okay, well, I hope you're right, because I am thinking, okay, and I think,
Yes.
yeah. So anyway, my reason for bringing, which you was supposed to get with me earlier today, you and the man from, I would assume Joe and the guy from Dewberry.
That's him right there, no, we did
That's
that.
not the same guy, is it? Is it? Well, you look shorter. Maybe I got you on the phone. Yeah, but my understanding, you guys were gonna get with me for a meeting.
That was not my impression.
We're
That
waiting
was
on
my
2 plumbers reports from you, he is, but
Yeah,
We'll check
well,
it
that
out.
was what I was gonna bring to our meeting. But anyway, that is, in that packet, which I guess I can go ahead and give you guys, don't have that back.
You got it, you got it.
I can go ahead and give that to you real quick. Now, is there anything I said that you think that, what has transpired? I mean, just generally our conversation, that's all,
Just
you were
to
there.
speak to the board, I did go to the site with Mr. Presnell and try to gather as much information as possible of both situations, the sewer and the water issue. And to answer your question, Ms. Lois, no, you didn't say anything any different right now that you
Okay.
did that, last Thursday.
You're fine.
I'm not coordinating, I want to
No.
Okay, this is all it is that you need. Okay. And,
I'll ask Robert.
and this one here is the second one, anyway.
When she gets finished, I want her to hear it. I don't want to be behind around.
But I don't, this makes it later after.
And, Mr. President, if you'd like me to address the board.
Let's see if they have any questions
Yeah,
first.
I have a question and a statement, kind of. Lois and I have talked several times about this, and I think that she's done her due diligence trying to do what she could do. She put in a drain in the front yard to help the water coming off the road, to divert it around the house and all that. But Robert, where does the sewer come from her house? Does it go to Morgan? Does it go to Pine?
She is the first hookup, she's the highest hookup on the Morgan drainage system.
She
She thought she was on Pine, which is down from her house, but that's a dead end run.
Okay.
She's on the Morgan line.
So do you know how far down the Pine Run goes? Does it go in front of her house?
No, it's back up probably 100 feet.
Okay, but the water, her water valve is on the Pine Street side, Pine Avenue side, or is it on Morgan side?
Yeah, you're talking about two different things.
Yeah.
Right.
Water or
My
sewer?
water valve, my water.
Yeah, well, she was talking
It's
about
on
water
my-
infiltration, but if the sewer's on the Morgan side, it would run down, I would think it would run
It's a
down.
gravity system going towards Morgan. She put a clean out right in front of her porch, if you're familiar with her
Uh-huh.
porch. So her line is right there, that's where she put a clean out.
So it comes in parallel to Pine and it goes in underneath your front porch? Is that where your sewer goes in, Lois?
Right, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it comes in and turns
But
and
they
goes
were
out.
able to, they were able to root it right it out.
Clean it out, yeah.
All the way up to the porch, and then I had a plumber come in 3 days later, and he went into the porch area, and then went from there to the cities.
And
To the street.
John Sanford did one of them?
Yes, he did.
And who was the other one?
Cooper out of Bainbridge.
Okay.
And, part of that reason I was having a little blockage in my kitchen sink next to my husband. Anyway, I had him go ahead and just thoroughly do the whole house, cause if I put it on the market, I can say
Yeah,
it's good to go.
But the water you keep talking about that's in the ditch,
Yes,
that keeps
it's-
filling up.
It's rainwater, but it don't drain off.
The stormwater drain.
Yeah, so any water, that is not an option for it. That is not an option for the water, it all comes down in front of my house. I mean, there's so many people who can tell you that it doesn't, it just runs off, it's like a river. Actually, I was hoping to get one of those, here I go, get my stupidity, what's the thing you put in your computer?
Ron, you asking the wrong one about technology.
Flash drive.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
I don't know why I can't think about that. But I got a new phone and I haven't been able to find anybody. I don't have a computer, but I got pictures. If that's something you're interested in, I'd have to go somewhere and download and show you how the water just actually pours into my yard. And Mr.
That's
President,
something you should get to him, because
Yeah,
he's
he
the one
needs to
doing
see
the
that.
analysis, that'd be helpful for an engineer.
but Mr. President, which you saw the asphalt border he put in there. Yeah, Mr. President did do that for me. He went down there and put an asphalt border and it helped a lot. It didn't take care of the problem, all of it, but it helped a lot because my house, actually under my house, on the north wall, under the house, was that deep where it washed out. So, I go up there with bricks and stones and stuff and bust them up and pack them underneath it. You know, you'll see pictures, and then covered it with dirt, just because that's partly why I called somebody about foundation, because I thought, oh my God, I don't want my whole wall to cave in, because that caves in and half the house goes, you know. But anyway, I guess that's it. Oh, have any questions? If you have any questions about any of this stuff, it's not very organized, and there's some duplicates in there, because when I got to putting it together, so, it's quite a bit of stuff to look at.
Okay.
So, that's it.
So Matt, you're gonna do a study and give us a report back? Or you have something you want to say to us?
What I told Ms. Lois that I would do is I would get with Joe to get any type of records that he had of the sewer system
Right.
in that area, and he provided that to me. And I asked Ms. Lois to provide me with what the invoices of whatever work was done by the plumbers to help me evaluate what took place with the sewer flow. She had concerns of three different things: stormwater runoff, water period, with concerning that possibly could be through the city's system leaking, and then sewer leakage. So what I plan to do is do an analysis of all three components and report back to the board with what my professional opinion is of what's going on out there.
Okay.
All right? And Ms. Lois, if you would like to, I'll give you a business card. I can get that flash drive from you and
Okay.
get those pictures, and I can use that for the
Okay.
analysis.
Okay, yep.
All right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I don't want to speak for the rest of y'all up here, but I think that if it's anything that has to be done on the city side, that we need to be prepared to do what we need to do.
If it's on the
If
city
it's on the city
side.
side, yeah. And we're, I think Robert and I are in agreement on that, because we've talked about that, but we just need to get some kind of something resolved here
We've
somehow.
got her numerous times, and kind of the sewer issue was eliminated
Mhm.
pretty quick. There was a blockage somewhere, but we never unblocked anything, so where it was or how it was, because, water backing up in her tub, a sewer line had to be blocked.
Yeah, and Lois, you hadn't had any more backup since January of 21 in the tub?
No,
Good, that's
We're
good.
not disputing there was one, but we
Yeah.
just never could find one.
Sure.
On the city side, but so then I started addressing stormwater runoff, and that's when the berm came in,
Mhm.
a number of other things out there, because that's what I saw as an immediate relief that could, was stormwater runoff. And then, the berm, I guess she said it helped for a while, then she contacted me again, so I brought the engineering firm in to let them do, hopefully they know more than I do, I'm usually pretty good with the water, but on this one, I don't see a source or a cause,
Mhm.
something to fix.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get back with her, Mr.
yeah, I'll get the,
And Robert, when y'all cleaned the ditches on Pine Avenue on the west side of Pine, did that help with the water running off on the
No, that
Morgan
ditch,
side?
Deadheads at the break of the hill, there's a
Right.
hill just north of her house.
Yeah,
And that ditch was designed, hasn't been changed, been that way for 60, 70 years, I guess, but, it drains back to the north.
Back-
to the
back to
cross
Oak
down
Street,
there.
yeah.
She is just on the break of the hill
Okay.
on the southern side.
okay,
so basically, it has nowhere to drain to.
right.
Curve on her
So
side,
it
down
fills
to,
up,
Mhm.
it doesn't, you know what I'm talking about, where Mr. Clemens' shed is.
Yeah,
It's not even that far down towards the Morgan.
yeah,
So what he's saying, if the other end is full and that's blocked off, but basically you got a ditch that's been of no use whatsoever
yeah.
for a long time. It's just not drained off. I know they did clean it, I don't know, but it's still like that,
Y'all cleaned it lately, Robert?
I'm waiting on the engineer's report, I wanted him to see
Okay.
everything as
Okay.
is,
Oh.
I don't wanna change anything.
Yeah, that's right, okay, that makes sense. Well,
All right, thank you for letting us know, I appreciate it, and Mr. Fresno, whatever.
We'll do whatever.
If it's on our side, we'll have to do what we have to do. All right. That's all under the award pay station grant. All right, we need to approve the minutes from the last regular meeting.
I moved that we approved the minutes from the Tuesday, January 3rd meeting.
Second.
Been properly motioned and second.
Williams, Williams,
Yes.
Richardson,
Yes.
Henry,
Yes, ma'am.
Blythe.
Yeah. Was there any items pulled for discussion, Mr. McCarthy? Do we have any citizens' requests? Mr. Jordan? Nobody? Okay. All right, public hearing?
Madam Mayor and council members, we do have one, and this is related to a grant application we're doing for a SCOP, Small County Outreach Program grant from DOT. And the road we selected this year, you get points for connector roads, and it's supposed to actually relieve pressure from the state system. It was how they started the grant anyway, so you get extra points for connector roads. We Staff and engineers have selected Martin Luther King. It's sizable, got a good length. It connects on both ends to major roadways, so we think it's a good candidate project. We'll apply for that if council so approved. What is required is a resolution from the council to go with our grant packet.
Okay, so if, what does the scope of work include if we get this?
I'm okay.
Yeah,
It'd be resurfacing the roadway. I've been out there and looked at it, and already started putting some numbers together and everything. One item that I will be doing is asking for some guardrail to go along the box culvert that's there right now. It's just real close to the roadway. Specification does not require them because of speed limit, but just for a safety thing, I'm gonna add that in there as well. So it'd be just putting 2 inches of asphalt, milling it down to level everything out, for 2 inches of asphalt, new paint, new signs.
All the way down Martin Luther King.
From MLK to Main Street.
Okay.
And we're looking at with fees of design, CEI, contingency, you're looking at about $540,000.
It's a good job for the city.
yeah.
when you get it.
And there's no utilities will have to be moved to
No.
complete that?
No, sir.
And there's no drainage or standing water issues on that road? It's elevated enough that nothing.
There's actually curb and gutter on a lot of it, and there's also paved gutter along the edge, so it conveys all this open drainage system.
Yeah. Okay. And it's gonna be, is it gonna be a curved road?
There won't be new curb, no.
Okay.
There's some that already exists.
Existing curb, just
You know, mill down.
milled
work
down,
inside
okay.
the curb lines.
That sounds good.
And if we do come across as the project going along, that'll be the time to address any ditch work or
Mhm, yeah.
driveway culverts, anything like that.
Okay.
But, so we need to adopt this resolution, number 2023-01. It's a resolution of the Board of City Council members of the City of Chattanooga, Florida, authorizing the mayor to apply for FDOT funding through the Municipal Small County Outreach Program for resurfacing East Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard.
Do I need to make the motion?
We need one to council, just
We
need
just need
y'all
to,
approve.
just do by resolution by number, Jennifer? We just, resolution by number?
I make a motion that we adopt resolution 2023-01 for, Martin Luther King resurfacing.
Second.
That's been properly motioned and seconded.
And authorize the mayor to sign on behalf of the city.
Williams,
Yes.
Richardson,
Yes.
Henry,
Yes, ma'am.
Glass.
Yes, ma'am.
Any? General business?
General business.
We just have one item, Madam Mayor, and that is a contract. If you recall, we got appropriated $100,000 during the last legislative session to do some water system upgrades down at the plant. It had to do with the automatic shut on and shut off, antiquated. The power goes out, someone has to come in and manually turn it on. That's what we applied for. We were granted. Anyway, we got quotes on that. It was $100,000. It would be less than that. And got quotes on it. It went back to the state. This is the company we want to do it with. They required us to go out for formal bids. The quote was $75,000. So we went back to drawing board, went out for formal bids, received one bid from the same person, a company out of Tallahassee that does that work. And that bid is for $95,900. But we ask you to approve this only bid we got on it, and it's in the well room down at the public works yard for the drinking water system. Created this problem because, you know, there's some administrative fees in there, it's gotta come out of that 100. And we were also gonna buy the SCADA system. We had enough money with the price we had received to do the SCADA system where our guys would basically get alerts on their cell phone, any issues with the water system when they were at home. So we won't be able to do that. So if you award this bid, we can get the project done, we may run a few dollars over, but that's where we are.
Okay, this will help eliminate the problem of the waters being cut off townwide like we had
Yes,
3
the-
weeks ago.
The control room down there,
Yeah.
not at the well site, but down at the public works, well treatment, and we're going this year for an all-new chlorination system. This is all of your electronics in that room, that have to do with all the automatic shut on and shut off, bypassing, I mean, the stuff in there, you know, is 50, 60 years old.
Mhm.
And, some of it, we can't get parts for a lot of it. Like I said, the guy's been manually doing it for quite some time, and that's not the way to run a water system, so
No.
that's why we applied for it.
Yeah.
This will fully automate that room back like it should be with new equipment, the electronic part of it. And we're going this year for the chlorinator, the automatic computerized chlorination system, and so we'll be stated, if we get the appropriation this year, we've already applied for, it, we'll be stated of the art,
That's good.
be where we should be.
That's good.
It's the only bid we got.
What's it called?
Yeah. $120,000.
Yeah. It's the only bid we got, so.
So we've asked you, staff has asked the council, if you so choose, to award the bid for $95,900 to Universal Electric of Tallahassee Incorporated.
95 even?
95,900.
900.
95,900.
9.9K.
Universal,
Universal Electric of Tallahassee Incorporated. And they're located on Kilowatt Road. All right.
Okay.
That's the only bid we got.
Yes, sir, it's only one we've seen.
Nobody needs to work no more.
That's, yeah, you're all right on anything.
Nothing.
it's just very ironic that the bid was 75,000.
It's sad.
And then
The
it
state,
goes up.
of course, it was their money, I mean, it was the
Yeah, I
legislative
understand.
appropriation, but they just spent $20,000 for the same job.
Same job.
Wow.
Well, I would move that we would award the bid award to the Universal Electric of Tallahassee, Inc. for the upgrades to the water switching system.
Second.
Been properly motioned and second. Call for the vote, please.
Williams,
Yes.
Richardson,
Yes.
Henry,
Yes, ma'am.
Glass.
Yes, ma'am. All right. City manager?
All right, just bear with me, I do have quite a few items this evening.
Yeah.
One is, remember when we talked earlier about the use of what was currently the Boys and Girls Club building, the old library? And, the council seemed willing to use that as a senior center.
Correct.
Well, we got the official request out from the county, so that is
Okay.
moving along and will be happening. Unless y'all have any other questions, but got the letter from the, county manager requesting that, so we'll be moving forward with that.
Will they be helping to get it up to par, the county? They're gonna help, they're gonna give more than they got already given? Okay.
For improvement,
Yeah.
staffing? Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Been working on that for a while.
Second thing, we have another request here, we had one, I guess at the last meeting or one before, but this is, Sam Palmer, who's president of the Gadsden County NAACP, requesting, they're having their annual banquet, and requesting that the city, if they want to participate, to get a table, or you can get individual tickets. Want to get some guidance from the council, what the interest might be.
When is that banquet?
April 29th, 6 p.m. Table is $320 and the ticket individual is $40 per person. They have a dinner and, it's kind of a dress up, it's a banquet. They have speakers and all, but you said they do serve a dinner. Just let me know if anyone's interested.
How much is it he requested?
Well, you sent the tickets and then, of course, the table, you can get a table for 8 for $320. And that's what they usually try to get people to do, is like a table. Now where you sitting as a group or with your friends or family. But you also, you know, individual tickets in case you wanted to go another way, just a couple people wanted to go. Then you would sit at tables with other people,
And for the tables, how much?
320
$320.
and then 40.
And that's gonna be, where's that gonna be, where's the banquet going to be?
Oh, this year's at the Joe Carlito Center.
Okay.
All right. Senior citizen, code enforcement, had a meeting with the chief, and, you know, when we first started this, and got with the magistrate and all, getting serious, we, Fred actually was doing the leg work, the enforcement work, cause it gets pretty rough out there on the ground. And then, Cindy was doing it at my office, and, which she was already doing the paperwork part of it, preparing all the stuff for the magistrate, the type, sending all these registered letters you have to and all. But anyway, we met with it, and, we're gonna be going back with the police department, doing the actual first visit, identifying, taking the pictures, and knocking on the doors, and, that we'll have more success with that, some of the folks, because, you know, they're officers, and, like I told Chief, you got a gun. You know, a lot of people don't want folks around, you know, looking at their stuff or talking about their stuff, and, but we have ordinances that we're charged with enforcing, and it's not always easy, and, but that's, so moving forward, the police department will be doing the enforcement part of it, all the paperwork, and the magistrate and all will still be here in this room with, my staff doing that part. So I think we'll see some improvement on getting some of it done. But on that, I know y'all seen some of these houses being, you know, we have 9 houses right now, being either new construction or rehab. So they, you know, they're small baby steps, but we didn't get here overnight either.
Yeah, I went to work one thing, come back, and the whole house was gone.
So there's actually
What happened to the
9
house?
Through that Florida housing grant right now, so that's good for the city.
I was like, good God.
And, I think they'll do a great job on that and get the code enforcement, a little more aggressive on that.
Rory, let me ask you, if we have a citizen that complains about, property, do we need to refer them to you or to chief? To you, so it's got to go through you, then y'all, and you go down.
And what we left the other day, they'll get a list every how week, or every how often they wanna come get it, probably be like weekly for the officers, and
Okay.
they'll do the initial visit. All they'll have to do is make contact, get the pictures on the initial thing, then we'll send the 2 required letters, then after that, that's when you're posting property. That's when they'll really come in handy, when you're out there putting up signs and posting property, setting a court date. That seems to be the toughest part of the process, though, to get to that point. And I mean, you know, people get upset about things like that. So I think it'll work a lot better. We'll get some more cases going. We want to update you on that. The Florida Municipal Electric Association Conference is going to be in St. Petersburg this year. So if any of the council interested in attending, please let Katie know. So the registration just opened, and you know, make sure anybody wants to go.
And when is it?
Hotel where the conference is.
You know what it
End of March,
is? March.
first week of March-ish.
Somewhere like that.
Okay.
It's in March,
So,
right?
March.
You got the date? I thought it was later.
What are the dates?
She's looking.
Yeah, but anyway, anybody that's interested, we need to get you registered now, so you'll be booked in the hotel where the conference is located, not have to travel.
No, it's in, July 18th.
Yeah, it's usually later than
That was something else in March.
July 18th.
It is the, Florida Black Caucus.
Caucus is in March.
Is in March.
Downtown redevelopment project. Any future questions, y'all can get on Matthew here, it's in the design stage now, so. The architect and his crew will be here again Friday on the South Side School project. That's
It's
moving
gonna ask
along on the development of those plans.
Okay.
Specification, but they're coming in with another crew they've had the asbestos people here. They're bringing some demolition guy Friday. I'm gonna meet them down there Friday morning, but they'll be here again. So that project's moving along. Scott, if you haven't already heard, we were awarded part of a group, 3 cities that were awarded $1.84 million for the internet, high-speed internet. It's a broadband grant, you know, a lot of the Joe Biden money went into the broadband and it went to the states, then you apply it to the states. So, Charter Spectrum will be doing that. It's a lot of miles of new line between here and Gretna, so hopefully it'll help a lot of folks out with that. And we were happy to be a part of that award.
Who were the other 2 cities?
Gretna and Greensboro.
Good.
Rural.
What they did was, I think, I mean, but everybody who was on the TDS side, because when you go east, there's different phone companies. I'm just assuming that because Greensboro, Gretna, and all that stuff. But we're part of it, and $1.84 million, so can't hurt. Talked about the housing program and did that. And y'all let me know, let Katie know, please, if you're interested in attending the conference, and let me know about any of these banquet tickets or table. And we, Florida Rural Water, and I'll just touch on this tonight, there's a lot of work left to do, but we've talked about water before, and, we just finished our study on rate structures and what it costs to maintain and properly maintain a system and everything. And just in rates, the city of Chattahoochee, you charge $1.07 per 1,000 gallons of water. Period, across the board, no matter how much you use. The next closest one to you is $2.13, which is Mariana. Everybody else is higher, $2.33, $2.29, $2.49, and then some of them go from $2.25 for the first 1,000 to $2.87 for the next 1,000.
Snake is high.
So, you know, we knew we were low, we liked being low, but we also have to be responsible. So at some point, we're gonna have to talk about this, but we're gonna do a lot more research and get some more numbers for you.
Ours is at what, 180?
$1.07.
Oh.
Dollar plus tax.
The next closest one to you is over twice that. Which we knew that we were just trying to break even on the water system. You know, it's not a moneymaker for us.
Mm-hmm.
What is Gretna?
Talcott, Chipley, I don't have Gretna on here. Sneeds, Mariana, Monticello, Tallahassee, Talcott, and Chipley.
Yeah,
I'll
Gretna's
get
got
that.
that.
Like I say, this was.
Gretna, I thought
They
they
got
had
their
their
own
own
water
water
system.
system.
Gretna got their own water plant.
Yeah, they got their
We
own
did that.
water system.
Some didn't respond, but some wouldn't respond.
Okay, yeah, cause they have their own water system.
Yeah. But I know they did theirs about 2 years ago and put in so they wouldn't have to dress it anymore, put in an inflator. So each year, something, it just goes up percentage wise a little bit, so they just don't have to do like this and then make a big jump at one time. These water rates, again, you probably remember the last time the water rates were adjusted.
It's been a
20
long
years.
time. But it was sometime before last week. It was a long time ago.
But, you know, we're gonna do a lot more research, a lot more numbers, what it costs to operate your system, what the maintenance is, you know. But things go up, insurance goes up, the chemicals go up, your labor, the guys running the system goes up, everything.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, Mariana is a bigger city than us, so I'm just trying to find something comparison.
Yeah, oh,
To-
Sneed's
To
is the
measure
closest
it.
comparison on that.
yeah, Steve's, it's size wise, they're a little smaller than us, they're $2.33 per gallon.
Oh, dang.
1,000
And
gallons.
Yeah.
Sneeds. That's true. Sneeds.
Mm-hmm.
Is there sewer system?
Monticello's small, they're 162
No sewer related to this.
Nothing.
for 748 gallons. So that's over $2 for 1,000 gallons, but they do it by 100 cubic feet, which comes out to 748 gallons. So they're like 230, 240. Tallahassee's big, Talcott's big, but they're 225. Chipley's not big, they're 249 per 1,000. But you just don't wanna be, you can't be in a situation of losing money on a utility operation every breaking even's not good. You know, so we'll have to adjust it sometime, nothing you gotta do right now. Just wanna bring it to your attention, that's all I have, glad to answer any questions.
Ms. Katie, you got anything for us?
Mayor, did I miss, citizens requesting to be heard?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
nobody requests.
I'm sitting right here.
Ms. Attorney, Ms. Schuler, you got anything for us?
Yeah, just briefly, I am working with the Rosedale Water Association on some new water contracts, so I'm hopeful that I'll have some agreements to review next month. If I see some sticking points, I may put it as an agenda item, but I don't think I've proposed anything that they can agree to, so hopefully we'll be able to bring that to the finish line.
That's all you have?
That is.
All right. Mr. Cameron?
Just a couple of things. I had been approached by some citizens about the citizen input stage of the downtown planning, the downtown revitalization, and the south side groups. Am I correct? And there was going to be a citizen input or on all that?
We talked about that our last meeting, but they need to get it at least like what we call 60% plans or something.
Uh-huh.
So that you can have a table in a meeting, but yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And Dewberry will be kind of heading that up.
And Matt, we usually have to have a couple of those, is that right? One or two, or
As many as.
many as we need? Okay.
But like Mr. Preston said, we've got to get something together. We just finished a survey, so we're at the very beginning of getting it put on paper, the basic things, and then what it have to be.
Okay. All right. Robert, I noticed that there was a couple of businesses uptown that looked like they just about to be ready to open up. Can you talk to me anything about that?
Got one be opening up Friday, possibly Thursday, the Twin Cities.
Okay.
Will be open, Department of Business Professional Regulation. We're closed. They'll be open the weekend.
Okay.
The barber shop, not that I got a lot here anyway, but I just don't know when we're gonna get the barber shop.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Yes, it is.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Yes, it is.
And well, that'll be good. I have noticed that we've had quite a bit of activity down at the RV park.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's good. Billy, can I ask Billy, you got anything to say about that? Billy, can you kind of give us a little set to about what's going on down there?
Well, yes, sir, I probably can.
Okay. If you don't mind.
No, my name's Billy. I'm the park host. I've been there from day one. We're doing great. The first year was a little slow. This year is getting better with the cooperation of some of the folks. Robert's helped me a lot. Some of the city boys ain't quite with us yet, but it's getting better. And people love our campgrounds. They tell me they go, man, what a great place to stay. It's safe, it's clean, we keep it that way. We kind of check out folks. I mean, we're not being discriminative of any way. But if you're a legal citizen and you pay your way, then you're welcome, and we welcome everybody.
And
And the city's helping us. It's a work in progress. We need picnic tables for some of the folks.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we're doing really well. Our laundromat is a coat of paint away from being open, which will generate a little bit more money for the city. We've got a brand new a brand new dryer. We might need a little help with the washing machine, but it's all good. Everybody loves the campground. They appreciate that. And I appreciate the help and cooperation Robert, whenever I need some help, Robert, he deals with it. So it's all good. And I would like to say one other thing, if I could, as a private citizen. I own half a cemetery street. Dewberry come in there and destroyed my parking lot. Dewberry. And they also caused us a lot of problems in our campground by not doing what they said they were gonna do. But they destroyed my parking lot, which I assumed the price to fix. I've got a water hole where they told them not to park equipment. They did a lot of things, but I let it slide. But I just want it to be known on record. I don't know if I'd have them build me a sidewalk.
Well, I didn't know anything about that, Bill.
That's it.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
That's all.
All right, I'll sit down.
Kinda lost what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else right now, Andy. That's all.
Okay.
That's all.
Ann Williams, I'm sorry.
On Thursday, we will have second harvest, but what about the road, Oak Street? Has that been taken care of, that they can get in and out?
No, ma'am, we'll be coming in off of Morgan, do the same as you did coming off of Main, so everybody will come off Morgan. We've posted it on Facebook, and you and I had a conversation about the volunteers, alerting the volunteers. The culvert pipes down there, had to be ordered, pipe company, and they're not in yet. We were hoping to have it fixed, but no, we put the word out best we can for this event, you'll have to come in off of Morgan Avenue.
So they'll come off Morgan down and then they're gonna have to go back out like that way?
Mm-hmm.
So come back out.
The only other problem that I can see with that is we're gonna need some assistance getting the truck in, because the driver is not familiar with Chattahoochee and he was coming in on Oak Street.
That's true.
So can you, or the city guys assist us with that?
Do we have contact information for him?
I'll get it to you.
Oh, if we had contact information, we'll contact him and help him any way we can.
I'll get it to you tonight.
That's this Thursday, right?
Yes.
Hmm?
It's this Thursday, the second.
Yeah,
Thursday.
this Thursday, the 9th. The truck tries to get here around 9 o'clock in the morning so we can get everything set up to get started serving the public at 10.
Yep, and I can also have a truck, one of the guys, meet him down, if he's gonna come in that way.
Yeah, he comes in on on Oak Street,
Well,
yeah.
we'll try to contact him and tell him, but if there's
Okay.
any difficulty at all, he can just follow a pickup.
Are we gonna have something at the top of the hill, Oak Street? We're gonna have to do that, we're gonna need some.
Yeah, everything's down at the pipe, the only
Yeah,
thing
because I didn't
is,
even know Oak Street was closed.
well,
And I live on,
The corner.
people accessing it from both ways to get home and out. I mean, we couldn't block the road.
I know, but we need somebody up there so that, to
Or,
go on to Gregory and then back up that way and then come back down Pine. Because then you're gonna have a goat rodeo, because Pine's gonna be full, then you're gonna have Oak coming down, and those kids are gonna get
I'm
kicked
hoping
off.
Word gets out.
Well, yeah, I know, but
It'll
that
be
many
all
people
right.
use common
We can-
sense.
maybe we can come in one way and go out through Pine or something. Instead.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, because everybody's used to coming off
Right,
Main. There
absolutely.
needs to be somebody at the top of Main and Oak.
Yeah, because we're gonna need somebody to direct the traffic.
We'll get
I'd
to
be
it.
helping with
Okay.
first harvest, second
Man.
harvest. I would do it, I'd be helping with second harvest.
As a business owner
Yeah, Katie do
here in
It's
Chattahoochee,
bad.
2/3 of a city block next to the church that has the farm share,
it.
y'all are more than welcome. If you need a nice wide open parking spot to do what you have to do to create, you're more than welcome. I will give that to you and let you, it's a huge parking lot, as big as what you've got in front of the community center. It's in front of the old Wallace Peacock. I've already cleaned it all off, but you are more than
The corner
welcome,
down there.
if you would like to stage that there. I have no problem. That'd be great. The farm share, the church right next to me,
Yeah,
they do a 2-week deal. But the other part, I've already cleaned it this week and it'll be cleaner by next week. But there's a huge parking lot there, that if you would so desire, you're more than welcome to use it, is what I'm telling
Thank you for that.
you. You're most welcome.
And I'd like to get, shout out to all of the volunteers who have been so faithful in working with us with the, Second Harvest, especially our chief who comes and works diligently there with us. And it's wonderful to have him there with us, to be seen that we have no problems while we're there. Also, Second Harvest will also be back in Chattahoochee on March the 9th. So, Miss Katie, if you would put that on there for us, I truly would appreciate it. And I'd like to thank each and every one of you all for coming out to be with us tonight. I am in hopes that we can get this water problem resolved very quickly, as soon as possible. Thank the counselor for working together as well as they have. And that's all I have tonight.
Ms. Richardson?
Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't see if our, principal of Chattahoochee Elementary had something to say.
I'd like to speak. Thank you, Ms. Richardson. So first of all, I want to thank the city for your continued partnership. You all have been excellent to the school ever since I took the reins as principal last year. I wanted to just kind of give you an update on the things that are going on at the school, some of the concerns that have been brought to my attention, and I want to start with enrollment. So when I came here the first time, and I think it was August of 2021, I told you all that our projected enrollment was 90 students, and as of today, we're at 148 students.
Good job.
We're expecting 6 more students. We got some calls today, so the enrollment is rising. Ms. Richardson, I want to thank you personally for calling me so frequently to just ask for updates and see if we need anything. Everything that you've done is very much appreciated. We're still using all of the things that you have given us, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much, and to the entire council. Also, I told you all that we've moved to a new testing model. It's called a FAST testing. Not fun, but I do want to tell you that if you see any of our first graders, pat them on the back, because we're at 100% proficiency for reading in first grade.
That's
They're
wonderful.
doing awesome. And then our safety update. Thank you so much to the chief and the police department. They really helped us out this summer. He made his rounds to make sure that all the doors were locked and to give me updates and pointers on things that we could spruce up around the school. So if you do decide to visit this year, we have installed a new doorbell system. So you have to press the doorbell, the camera comes up, we can see all of the visitors from the inside of the school, and the door doesn't open unless it's authorized by a person on the inside. And I hope you all have seen our sign. It looks so good. We update it along with our calendar every month. But just thank you for all of your partnership. Mr. Moultrie's not here tonight, but he stops by frequently to help us to incentivize behavior and participation with our other partners like the Art Museum and the Garden Club. It's really too much to talk about. Y'all have done so much, so I want to thank you on behalf of the elementary school.
Well, I have a question. I saw some boxes around town for books. Y'all need donations of books, like people, because I have people that say, where can I take books? I mean,
You definitely can. We can add those books to our classroom library. The donations for books are part of our Scholastic Book Fair. So the book fair gives us those little boxes, and then when the people donate money, I think they match it up to 50% or something, and then our librarian is able to order new books from the library for that. But if you have people who want to donate books, we're not turning anything down.
right, I
So tell
understand
them
that.
that they can definitely bring it.
Okay. Oh, yeah, but so that, I didn't understand quite what the money's for. I mean, because I didn't know if y'all needed some more books,
That's
but
for our Scholastic dollars.
for the book, yeah, because the book fair's not cheap.
Nope, it is. And then I also wanted to mention the maintenance of the grounds. It looks so nice out there. So if you ride by and you see it, thank Mr. Gilchrist and Mr. Crazy for all that the Public Works Department is doing. They're so sweet. I like to feed them that.
Well, I want to tell you, I went to the Martin Luther King event, and that school is probably one of the cleanest schools I've ever been in.
Thank you.
I mean, whoever does it is top notch.
Thank you. I'll let our operations team know.
Please do, because it was spotless. And I went to school there, and I mean, you wouldn't know it was as old as it is. It was very, very clean, and very well maintained. Good job, very good job.
I have nothing.
Alright. I got a few things. I want to say that I'm a little saddened because we lost one of our police officers. He passed away, Fred O'Brien. He was a police officer when and he loved to tell on me all the time when I was a teenager. Then he became chief, then he came back, and then he became a police officer again. And he will be missed in this community because he was a part of this community. He loved it. He came from New York, and he loved this little city. And so I just want to say that it saddened me to lose Fred. Street signs. Robert, you remember one time we talked about we was gonna get new street signs? Where are we on that? 'Cause
We're
some
just
people-
replacing them. When we
Right.
buy one now, we do that. If
Is it the stand-up kind, or are we doing just the
yes,
ones on?
to stand up, you'll see
Okay.
some around, but if you wanna speed it up, it'll be a
No.
large expenditure, but what we're doing now is if we replace one, it's done with a up-to-code green with a reflective tape sign.
Okay, thanks. Oak Street, what's going, yes, ma'am?
Got content. The street sign on Morgan and Pine, it's reversed, and I've seen several people go down Pine Avenue and turn around. I've asked them to straighten it out, if they could just twist it around and get it straight, I'd be glad to put concrete around the base of it, but that's been since the storm. But I swear I have seen people go down Pine Avenue.
So you're saying that Pine's going down
They're
Morgan?
going there reverse.
Needs quarter
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
I have
I
those
see
too.
that. And I look all the time at them signs.
I made a note, I'll check it.
I appreciate it.
Okay, I was just wondering about that. Oak Street, what happened on Oak Street?
Those pipes that washed out previously, we
Yeah.
repaired them, tried to buy time, cause you know you have already been approved for a
Well, that's
grant.
what I was gonna say, when's that grant gonna come in that we can?
We're waiting on the state to present an agreement with the city.
Yeah, the next step, the agreement comes to y'all.
And they don't give you a timeline, or,
I would expect it.
cause that road is bad. And then with it being where everybody votes and like they have second harvest and all, it's rough.
But we tried to patch it, and I guess we bought a year and a half or whatever, but, it completely failed again, sucked the dirt in, and it's a real tedious place, cause you got gas line, you got all those utilities there. So we're just gonna get some corrugated pipes and put in there, so it'll be safe.
Yeah.
Until such time as we let the contract, but there'll be new pipes again put in then, because that whole bridge section was part of that grant, along with the guardrails and signs and everything, so we got some pipes coming, and it will be safe until such time as, but the contract's gonna come to you, and then the bid award will come to you.
Okay, next question. Pocket park uptown, when we getting that grant?
Well, we've been working on that diligently, to the point, I'm not allowed to talk to the state about that one anymore. I threatened to just go do it. It is part of that grant. We were progressing along, cause we're in the design phase of that.
Right,
I asked for, due to safety reasons, to allow us to go in and do that and use some of the money. Everything was going good until they found out that the downtown city of Chattanooga had been designated a historical area. So now, I guess it would take Congress or Joe Biden or somebody to get approval to remove that debris. I didn't wanna
well,
build the
Brad,
park.
what they want, the bricks? I mean, that's good.
Now we're doing a study, a big study that's gotta be turned in, environmental, what it's called. It's
And that's a long
really
process.
bad.
And that building's a hazard. It's a very dangerous
We
place.
wrote up a thing, did an analysis, we brought an architect even to the site to give the state, hey, this has gotta be done, we can't mess around 2 more years waiting on y'all. We just wanna do this one little thing. And,
Yeah, cause there's exposed pipes that, I mean, if a child or a homeless person got in there, that's a
First-
very big dangerous thing.
first they kinda said, okay, we'll give you this authorization to just clean it out. Not to build it, but to clean it out. When they found out that it was designated historical, that was it.
So, if you do,
I'm gonna do it.
well, no, if you do it, then it cancels the grant out, is that what?
No, they just won't reimburse what we spend on it.
Oh, Okay.
So the last question I asked, if Robert Preston pays for it, we're not asking the grant to pay for it, what you gonna do then? And I don't think they can do anything, but they might for the historical thing.
Yes, ma'am, Miss Midland?
Who did you speak with about that?
You have to talk to the consultants, I don't get to talk to them no more.
Okay, because I personally don't.
It's about, when you talk to them, you're talking about 12 people, because every 2 weeks you call, you get a different employee.
It's actually a requirement through the grant to do that study. So it wasn't like they call and say, hey, you can't do this, you gotta stop. It's a prerequisite to follow through this, grant itself.
Okay, because the reason I asked that is because all those houses that are being redone are also in the historical district. All they had to do was they sent requests to the Main Street office, asked, could this be done? We sent back, yes, it can, and that, they've gone, all that has gone forward. There's not been any problem. with
According
any
to
of that.
Tracy, there's a lot more involved.
And it's very well has to do with two different pots of money. The money that's paid for this, downtown.
That might
has
be
different
complicated.
stipulations than housing.
But it is, still has to do with historical business.
Agree.
part of it.
But to answer your question, it's not gonna be too much longer. We may not be able to use grant funds to do it, but it's not gonna be too much longer. Getting it cleaned up, not building
I
a new
mean,
one.
I
but getting it
understand.
cleaned up. Because we're working with these other people trying to do things and look, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's city property, and that's why I said, how can we justify telling somebody to clean up your stuff when ours is looking like some junk? I mean, that's the way I felt too, and that's why I asked, cause I know you kept saying they had to wait till the money, cause we couldn't do nothing, cause then it would affect the money, and
We were
so.
real close and then it just kind of about 3 weeks ago or something, they went south because of the historical significance.
Yes, ma'am, you had something,
On
ma'am?
the historical site, are they gonna put, plaques on the walls saying this is historical building, or it's gonna be a sign in the middle of the street saying this is historical Main Street or whatever?
Do they do that? Do they put historical markers?
No, there's gonna be signage involved in this entire project.
When we get the new part, when they're gonna redo downtown, there'll probably be a sign or something saying this is a historical district.
You have to apply for that.
Yeah, we have to apply for what? Oh, you telling me?
We have to apply for that signage. We have to ask for that signage.
Right,
We
okay.
can't just give that out, we have to ask for that signage.
Well, that's what we,
Okay,
okay.
okay.
Next thing. So we need picnic tables down there at the park.
We already have them. I guess they just haven't been put together and installed. We bought half of to start with, but we just bought another 8 or 10 and fire rings a month ago, I guess it was. So I'm assuming they just haven't been installed yet. The guys have to put them together at the warehouse and they take them down.
Cause I was gonna say, if not, we might try to get some people in town to sponsor them, like in memory and all.
No, we've already bought all.
All right, cause, I mean, if I was camping somewhere, I want a picnic table where I can sit out. and-
Well, most of them have, we were just doing like we did phase 1.
Yeah, and I understand that, but I just wanted to see if it was anything that
No,
we
we've
needed.
we've
If
got.
you give me
them.
1 or 2 of them, I'll put them together. Because the guests are always asking me now on the bottom layer,
Okay,
and
we'll work
I'll
on
be
that
more
one.
than happy to take 1 or 2 at a time and put them together than put them on.
We'll take care of the tables, Bill.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was just saying.
We've
I
got
just-
that.
I get a lot of people wondering why we're paying $547.50 a month and we don't have nothing. And I go, well, we got them, it's a work in progress. And all I'm doing is offering that if you need some help, Robert, I'll be more than happy to put one together and put them up. The screws, everything's there. It's just a matter of screwing them together.
But I do want to appreciate all the city employees, but I have noticed that the people started trashing more of the streets.
Yeah.
I don't understand it, but they do. Police force, I appreciate y'all. And like I said, we lost a valuable person when we lost Fred. And meeting adjourned.
Thank you.